Hello and welcome to TV Chef Fantasy League. I'm your host and commissioner, Sierra Cato, here with my co-host, Mike Cabalon and Ify Way.
Yo.
This is our, this is the episode before Val moves. I don't know why we don't want to dox her, but she's
you chose to do
Not here.
Yeah.
That we won't say where.
Yeah.
Where? She won't be here.
She is still working on the show.
But
We don't want to alarm anyone. She's still our producer, producing from afar, but we do have now engineering assistance from Gabe in the booth.
Yeah. It was a little cutie. I don't know if you never really get to see. Real cutie.
Here we go.
Yeah,
Here we go.
Look, I like the hair color,
Ask him out on air.
Yeah. See, first of all, I know these so-called players wouldn't. I know these so-called podcasters wouldn't tell you this.
The hair color is real.
Sierra can't yes and. She's never heard this song in her life.
I don't get
Let's
out
get
much.
married by Jagged Edge. Were you ever any Jagged Edge or 112?
No.
Peaches and cream?
Peaches and cream. And
I'm a fiend. Getting freaky in my little limousine. Even better when it's with ice cream. Know what I mean? Peaches and cream. It was a song about eating people out that we were singing in middle school.
Yeah. It was truly alarming in retrospect.
That's the time to sing it, I suppose.
I can't imagine being an adult and being like, what the fuck are my kids?
Well,
Would they know?
it's so funny,
No.
right?
No.
Because
I didn't know when I was a kid, no.
Because, I think, in high school, you're like, sex is so important. And you're like, I need it. And okay. Well, for me,
Low
yeah.
priority.
Yeah. Okay, sorry. I forgot we had the star students and then me, who I wanted, I felt like I'm ready. I'm an adult. And now as an adult, when you see high schoolers and they're like making out somewhere, you're like, ugh.
Grow up.
Get out of the way.
Yeah, go back. Where
I'm trying to make out there. Get out of here.
Go back. Where are your parents?
Yeah.
That's what I always tell them.
Every time you're around.
Yeah. Where are your parents?
Get off my lawn. Where's your mother? Okay. Well, Max Fun Drive.
That's our way of saying goodbye to Val.
Yeah.
So we'll wrap that up. But yes, Val will still be, working on the show. But, just wanted to give a little shout out to her and her move.
We love you, Val.
We love you, Val.
We love you very much.
And also, speaking of other administrative duties, we will be tackling some of those Max Fun Drive goals we met.
We didn't forget about them.
Yeah, we haven't forgot about it.
We're just
soon.
busy.
We just want to make sure we do them right.
Yeah.
So we're taking
It
our
takes time.
Yeah, just so I don't forget, I'm a text cat right now.
Ooh.
Oh, there we go.
Yeah.
Because
Not
she's
to
not
spook
off
you.
limits anymore.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yes. Not, as you know, if you've watched this episode's Last Chance Kitchen, Kat Turner is now up for grabs for the podcasters.
Oh, boy.
I did kind of see her, I mentioned this to you guys before, but I did kind of see her post on Instagram that she was on a podcast, so I kind of knew ahead of time she must have gotten
That makes
gone
sense.
home.
How did they get the scoop? What podcast?
I'll look it up.
Was it LA Countdown? They also do a Top Chef Fantasy League, and I'm a little bit like, get out of here. Get off our turf.
We don't allow
Yeah. Have they always done it? Because
I don't know who.
it seems like they smelt like that there was a better thing shows were doing, and they tried to hop on. Should we start podcast beef? Because I'm ready.
Yeah. Fuck you, LA Countdown.
Nice.
Yeah.
With your
Calling you
regional specialties, talking about LA food. We're talking national, international.
Yeah, we don't stop at LA.
We talked about Portuguese food last week.
Yeah.
Get outta
From
here.
Portugal.
Yeah, Mike was in Portugal.
And we know it's not in South America.
Now, today we do.
Yeah.
All right, so this week is the 6th week on Top Chef. It was Pickle Me This was the title because we did lots of pickles today.
In general, can I just say this is one of the most nail biter episodes we've had so far?
Oh, yeah.
This
I
was
was
tough.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And everyone was swinging.
Yeah, truly. Yeah.
I was really kind of impressed. But a lot of very big goofs, I think, in this episode.
Do you mean funny haha goof, or do you mean oops, I messed up goof?
Oops, I messed up.
Okay,
goofs.
yeah, I agree. Okay, we'll get into it. I just wanted to say up top, I was edge of my seat this week.
Yeah, this was a good one.
There's always good drama, but yes, particularly this week, as we'll know. But we start off by seeing Cesar draw a happy face on a grapefruit. What was that?
I think we're at the point in the season where they're just kind of going crazy.
Yeah.
It's been 6 weeks and they're not allowed to be on their cell
Look,
phones.
like Amanda said, they don't get, their phones or anything.
Right.
she had them bring in like Commander, pre-con so they can play it. Cesar's like, I'm gonna talk to the grapefruit.
His Wilson.
Yeah.
Gotta create your own. But we hear a little bit more about Paola's family life. She has 2 cute kids. They're very resilient, but she didn't explicitly say she missed them. So I wasn't gonna.
Wow.
Yeah, she was more saying, I don't want to disappoint them. I want to I want to be resilient like they are. And
one of them has, I want to say,
Mobius.
There we go.
Yeah,
Thank you.
Mobius.
I
Yeah.
heard of.
Okay,
I
never heard of it.
know. I know. I think I might have heard of it, but I might be mixing it up with
Okay.
Morbius.
Oh.
You're thinking of
it's-
vampirism.
Yeah. I was like, it might be more, and then I was like, oh, maybe that's what they were thinking of when they made the Morbius.
Maybe we misheard and it is Morbius syndrome. Maybe her son's a vampire.
No, because that's what all I would be talking about right now. we would not have been, we would have started off the rails, and that's all this episode would be about. Is that it's called Morbius? But yeah, Mobius, which like I do love when people take an opportunity to like be like, yeah, know that this exists. Let's like raise awareness.
Yeah, I didn't know before. Wait, have you seen Morbius?
No,
I didn't see
I've seen
Morbius.
like the first scene.
I don't think anyone in America has seen, like financially, no one's seen Morbius.
Yeah.
So it was in theaters. Then it's Morbin time went
Right.
viral, and then
Yeah,
they put
yeah.
it back in theaters, which
And
I'm
lost
like,
more money
that is
because they thought
probably
the memes. They thought it was like, oh, people want to see
Please.
it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
It's a low bar.
shouldn't
It's
have
low
done
bar
that.
for cinema.
Okay, well, luckily Chipotle makes an appearance this episode.
Indeed.
A
Quick
plus
fire.
for just like really good. At first, I was so resistant. I'm so resistant to the heavy-handed product placement.
But this was a good challenge.
It really
I was.
was.
Like, damn, y'all really like, like y'all put. This is what it's all about.
Yeah.
Like to be meta for a second. I remember when I was working on Grand Crew, we had like an Amazon Alexa. Branded thing, and Phil was like, I only want to do this if it can feel like it is natural and it actually like serves a purpose and not just something heavy-handed.
Right.
And this felt like that, where it's like, yeah, we all know it's a branded thing, but you really made a fun game out of it that made me glad you did it, and I think that's what it all comes to.
I always think of the. Did you guys watch Community?
Yeah.
You know the rocket ship bottle episode, the KFC rocket?
No.
There was an episode where it was like Greendale Community College got donated like the local Greendale Science Museum donated like an old kid's spaceship where you could like pilot a ship, but it was in the museum, in the museum, it was sponsored by KFC. And then the bottle episode is they all get stuck inside and they have to work together to complete the mission to get out. But the mission is all KFC themed. It's like you have to find the 11 herbs and spices in space or whatever. And I'm like, that is the most. If NBC is going to come to you and say you have to do a KFC sponsored episode, that is the best way to do it.
Yeah.
You know what
Just
I mean?
like go hard.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I think they introduced it, and then at some point on my Peacock they like changed. They did an ad for Chipotle too.
Oh, yeah,
and
yeah,
it was
same.
So
Yeah,
it was
yeah.
like very
Seamless,
good, very
seamless.
delicious.
And so then the next part of this is, so how hard were you judging them on their Chipotle orders? Because some people I'm like, never order anything from Chipotle for me in your life. What are you eating?
When Laura and I were watching, we were like, oh, Tristan for sure ordered a double steak burrito because someone else was paying for it. You know what I mean? I'm never paying for double steak at Chipotle,
Right,
but if it's on Bravo's tab,
oh yeah.
let it roll, baby. Give me 2 of those.
Save some for dinner.
Yeah,
I mean,
exactly.
I mean, you see this meat on this body. I'm double proteining it off.
Sure.
But what I do is I do like I'll get the can I get the steak? Can I get double steak?
Yes,
Because
yes.
I just feel like they
Yeah.
don't put enough if you say it up front. You got to be like,
Yeah.
oh, actually,
Yeah.
Exactly. They might be 1.5ing you at that
yeah,
point.
yeah.
because
So
they know.
I need the double. I want to feel like
One of the national artisanal ice cream chains, I want to say either Salt and Straw or Van Leeuwen, recently announced they're making smaller cups, and they were like, but we promised the same amount of ice cream. And everyone in the comments was like, no.
no, that,
Psychologically, no.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But also, what would your orders be?
At
Ooh.
Chipotle.
So they have that new Chipotle honey chicken.
Oh, you keep up to date
That
on
was
like
on
the new
commercial.
Oh,
I see.
Or,
I let
okay.
I saw the commercial.
Oh,
I registered the commercial existed. Did not pay attention.
Yeah. I got the
no, I
honey
actually
chicken.
went there and had it because I do go to Chipotle often. It's a great
Wow.
source
Okay.
of protein.
Yeah, sure.
You get protein, carbs, all that in a nice vehicle that you can eat while driving sometimes. Because sometimes it's too packed. But yeah, I'm doing. I would do like double that honey Chipotle chicken, which slaps brown rice, black beans, go ahead and put just a little bit of the spicy salsa, then the corn salsa, drizzle of the sour cream, and depending on how I'm feeling about my ass that day, I would say cheese or not, and then guacamole.
You really had an answer for this question.
Oh yeah.
And are you doing the bowl? You doing the?
Oh, I'm now I'm back on carbs. Wrap it up. Wrap that thing up.
Yeah.
Makes it a little easier. You know, I heard you could also do the bowl, and then you get the tortillas on the side, and then some of
that just feels messier.
volume. I mean, then you have to wrap it yourself, so you have to know how to do that, which is tough.
Oh, I wouldn't try and wrap myself. I would do a little like rip and dip action. You know what I mean?
Whoa.
Treat it like an Ethiopian injera bread, and just sort of like grab with the tortilla.
Also, double points
sure.
for talking about injera.
Cat's in, you
Cat's
said?
in,
wow,
yeah.
live.
Yeah.
I heard it live.
Yeah, live on the air. I
Hell
said,
yeah.
first off, shrimp is now my op. You did amazing. Secondly, though, you ready to come on? And she said, hi, yes, fuck shrimp. They are dead to me.
Oh,
Yeah, hell yeah.
Yeah, that was tough. It's so tough. You can tell she really felt like.
I know. It really, because I get that where like you just, we'll wait till we get to it. Because that is we can talk about that forever.
We will
We're still on
discuss.
Chipotle.
Yeah.
Yes.
What are y'all's orders?
Okay, I don't mean this as a brag, but like truly have not been to Chipotle in years.
Did you go to Chop Shop, the little Asian bowl thing that they did?
Oh yeah, that was like a Chipotle, but like Southeast Asian.
Oh,
yes.
Whoa.
Yeah, it was good. The peanut sauce there was good.
I'm thinking back, I truly think the last time I had Chipotle was before I lived in LA. Because once you move to LA, it's a little bit like, well, I could get Mexican food at Chipotle, or I can get Mexican food literally anywhere else.
Well, I thought you being on that meathead grind, you might be like, damn, I need to hit this protein.
My current meathead grind is preparing everything at home.
Oh, well, that's the best way to do it.
Yeah.
But, you know.
The Chipotle at home.
If you ever get the chance, just look at the nutrition facts and you can see like it really is like a good meathead option.
Okay. My training program with the trainer ends, this is so boring for the audience, I'm so sorry, ends like next week or the week after, and then I have to maintain it myself until the wedding. So I think the next couple months are going to be Chipotle zone.
Okay.
The moment he's gone, you're at Chipotle.
They got you good. Just in time. Yeah, I feel like I do a bowl, I'll do a carnitas, but I also haven't been in a minute, and I had heard that they kind of went downhill, right? Everybody was sort of saying the portions went down.
Yeah.
It was getting
You
more
just
expensive.
gotta make that eye contact.
Sure. You
Connect with that human being.
When they see
Create
all this meat
relationships.
pop up, when they see, I'm popping the pecs.
He's doing the peck.
Yeah, I don't know if you
when
can hear
they
that
see,
through the mic.
Yeah, when they see this pop up, they like, hold up, nah, he gonna be on our head if we don't protein him enough.
Sure. Yeah, you got to build those relationships with the people behind the counter.
It's important to build community.
Yeah. Okay. Well, speaking of community, Sister Lee and Jet and his son Jet Bentley. That's
incredible.
interesting.
Name.
His name's Bentley. Yeah.
Have y'all seen their videos?
Yes.
I was so
good.
This is the first time I was like, this is my guy.
Yes.
Like Michael Cera's kind of my guy, but I was like, no, this is my guy right here.
Wow. Wait, which one? The son?
But both of them.
Both of them.
Yeah,
Okay.
I love when he's like, Dad, make this gourmet. Because I'm like, this is such a good concept.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
the fact that it also weaved in, I was like, yeah, this is so.
Having them as the judges really made the Chipotle integration
Justified.
feel
I mean, I think Dylan did call like they're going to bring them out because Canada, Iron Chef Canada, but also, I feel like it started during kind of lockdown when everybody was trying to do content with their family or whatever. And it's like, well, this guy has a chef as a dad.
Yeah. Use it. Use
and
what
he's
you
like,
have.
young. So anyway, the challenge, they get access to their ingredients, of course, from their past Chipotle orders, and they whoever makes the best remake gets $10,000 from Chipotle. They can't use a can opener or a freezer since Chipotle doesn't have one. That was funny.
Also really good.
Yeah, I was like,
Silly.
oh,
It's like,
nice.
oh wow, fresh ingredients,
Yeah.
no frozen ingredients.
I get it. And
so,
how many
yeah.
ingredients? They only have 50,
I-
whatever
Oh, yeah,
in
it
the
was
kitchen.
50.
If I
53.
wasn't at a show across the street, we would have bags of Chipotle. Just know that.
Right. Okay, so going through these dishes, Henry had a queso fundido quesadilla, made this avocado sour cream mousse and Chipotle queso salsa. He had he had like a ton of ingredients to work with, so it's hard for him to kind of figure out which ones to zero in
And he
on.
said he was blanking. He's like, I don't have
Yeah.
an idea right now. I'm going to do queso fundido.
Yeah, so he did what he could. Massimo, he had a grilled chicken thigh, avocado, grilled tomatoes, cilantro puree. His was good. We'll discuss.
Yeah.
Cesar did his Cesar salad, which was
Clever.
romaine crema. He did this like torched avocado they really liked.
Loved it.
Lana did a marinated grilled pork shoulder with avocado, cream corn, succotash, and crispy tortilla.
Suffering succotash.
Paola did pork shoulder tostada, avocado cream, corn and serrano salsa. Tristan, steak tartare, obeata sofrito, green harissa, crema lime cured corn.
Interesting.
Very interesting.
Have you ever had obeata?
No.
Yeah, me neither.
Yeah.
I would have thought if anyone at this table had it, would have been you.
Yeah, I know.
Well,
Mike is calling me a
I
weeb.
wonder why.
Mike is calling me a weeb. But yeah, no, I haven't got to it yet.
Yeah, it made me curious. I do want to try it.
I don't know anything about it. Vinny grilled pork and roasted tomato chilaquiles. He was the one who had the quesadilla. He just had a simple order, so he had not much to work with.
Right.
Why would he do that? Okay.
But yeah, Vinny.
Why is he? What's going on with him?
Vinny. I feel like we get a lot of a color on Vinny's character this week.
Yes.
Like
Okay,
he
yeah.
seems like a very interesting guy. Like
You seem like you're dancing around an insult. You're like, he seems like an interesting guy.
Don't say it. Don't say it.
Yeah, you know, he's just like, you know, all you got was a quesadilla, and then like, you know, he kind of he kind of like has this Charlie Brown energy in the elimination challenge.
Yeah.
It seems like you're having a tough time there.
Yeah, he's increasingly had some like setbacks or something. We'll discuss.
But like, you know, he was like a standout star, which is so funny.
Yeah.
Like
He was early on.
Yeah.
I feel
with
like
the Apple Bowl.
at this point in the season, just taking a step back, I feel like the leaderboard is sort of doing one of these.
Oh,
like
yeah.
some people who have not been doing well are starting to pull ahead, and some people who started out really strong are like gone. Like Zubair,
Yeah.
I'm like, what happened, Zubair?
Yeah.
Oh, I know. Kat, yeah.
Yeah.
But
We'll get there.
But my goodness. So, okay. So then speaking of Katiana, she did a grilled lettuce, chicken, and sofritas. She had ordered a high protein salad, so maybe she's also working out. Maybe she's also
Can I just say
beefing
that
up,
her
huh?
being like, no rice, no tortilla, I was like, that is the most you've been adopted by a white family thing I've ever heard you say. No
Sure.
Korean in their right
you?
mind is going, no rice. You know what I mean?
like put the rice in it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Look. She's just getting swolled up.
You know what? Sure.
She just needs that energy to cook.
Yeah.
Shuai, tortilla soup, strip steak, romaine, tomatillo, and cilantro salad. He was kind of inspired by something. It was like sort of like a soupiness. He was kind of not doing, say, Mexican cuisine. He was trying to go
Right.
In an Asian direction. And then Bailey, grilled steak and sweet corn succotash. So the bottom least favorite, Vinny, as we discussed, his was just like needed more flavor, and he really didn't have much to work with. Henry, who had too much to work with, had kind of a basic filling, and then Shuai, his rice wasn't cooked properly. So that was a
The
problem.
rice. That's right. Yeah, that was a bummer.
Not enough time or something.
Yeah.
He did brown rice, and I was like, in broth? And he said, oh, in water.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
They're like, okay. Uh-oh. And then the favorites, they picked 4 this time.
Crazy.
In a twist, Massimo, Cesar, Paola, and Tristan. And because Tristan's was sort of like the most remixed dish, which is true,
Yeah.
a lot of them kind of just stayed in the same lane, but like
Yeah.
he really went for it. So he actually won. Tristan, yay. He gets a point. The other top ones get half a point each. And this is Tristan's 3rd win in a row. So
This is what I mean. He didn't start strong first couple episodes,
Yeah,
and
now
he's
the guy who
on
I
fire.
like.
I mean,
I think at some point in this episode, I'm like, Tristan's the one to beat. Like
Yeah.
unless something wild happens in
Right.
the next couple episodes, I think he might be the one to run
Your
away
team?
with it.
No, your
No.
team.
Mine, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah,
But also,
I was going to pick Tristan
sure,
too.
makes sense.
The one season you abandon your
Yeah, I know.
draft all the black
Yeah,
chips.
yeah.
No,
it's so
I no.
Don't remind him.
That's
But,
why.
yeah.
That's why. Always stick with your plan.
Yeah.
Okay, so elimination challenge. This is when pickles come to play. So a big shelf of pickles gets pushed in. Oh, Danny Garcia arrives, winner from last season.
Great. Love to see him.
My team from last season.
Okay, you don't need
Okay,
to.
sorry. Winner of Top Chef Wisconsin. Oh, Danny and Vinny work together. Very funny. I wonder what their opinion. I feel like that was weird.
Yeah. It didn't seem like as chummy as you think.
Yeah,
it
it
would
was not like a hey, good to see you.
Yeah.
It was like it was a little head nod.
I
so.
bet. Yeah, I wonder if Danny's like more senior because Vinny was saying, "I really want to."
He's got to be because Danny has his own restaurant now.
Yeah.
That like objectively is more senior.
Yeah,
you know?
but also, I want to talk about Danny. Y'all notice he come in with this new like swag energy? Like you could like he's like,
well,
yeah,
he
I won
has
this shit.
like his restaurant is like one of the most lauded new openings of the last year.
And
Yeah.
won last season.
yeah.
So
He's earned the swag.
Yeah, We'll see.
It is.
We'll
I
see
don't know
about
what
that.
it's like when you're like a friend comes back as like a teacher's assistant.
Yeah, exactly.
It's like,
That's
sure,
the vibe
okay.
that came. Like when like when you are a freshman in college and you just go back to visit the high school. It's like, what's up, y'all? How y'all doing?
It's like you were just here.
Miss Brinkles is still here. Oh shit, what's up, Miss Brinkles? Oh yeah, I could cuss now because I'm in
Are you
in
saying
college.
Miss
Right.
Brinkles?
Did you have a Miss Sprinkles?
Yeah, Miss Brinkle.
Did you really have a Miss Brinkles?
I didn't have a Miss
That's
Brinkles.
an incredible. That's a character name.
name.
You're putting
Miss
that in
Brink-
a script.
Yeah, Miss
Yeah,
Brinkles.
Brinkles. Give Brinkles or Sprinkles. That's what Iffy would say if you didn't come up with Miss Brinkles.
No, you're doing
That's
the
what I'm
puns.
assuming. Yeah,
that's
I
what
mean,
you don't run away from the puns.
I'm
You're
just
doing
trying
the puns now.
I'm just trying to get Tom's
Yeah.
attention.
Yeah.
All right. So the challenge for the elimination challenge is in 2 teams of 5, they're going to create a 5-course progressive pickle menu, and then one chef from the winning team wins, and one chef from the losing team will go home. So it is
Were you guys
important which team.
Down with this challenge? Are you pickle people?
Oh yeah. I'm pickle people. I like a pickle. Em is a pickle maniac.
Yeah.
A pickle psycho.
Yeah.
A pickle needs to be institutionalized.
Yeah.
Like while watching this episode,
It's
there were
magic because we can make eye contact with her in the studio.
while
Cheers.
doing this episode, there was a bowl of pickled jelly beans. I should have brought
Pickled jelly beans?
Pickled jelly beans.
pickle
Pickle
flavor.
flavored
Oh, okay, yeah,
jelly
yeah.
beans.
Just by
I should've-
chance.
Yeah, because she was like, I saw this in the store and I want to know what it tastes like.
Wow.
Was it good? Were they good?
They taste like pickle. Yeah,
Sure.
yeah. I'd say actually, I'm gonna give it props. Like it's good for like I've been grazing it every time I pass it.
Sure.
And it's always jarring because you're like, oh, pickle, and I was like, okay,
Yeah.
but that's good.
Okay. I can't.
Jarring.
There we
Hey.
go.
Yay!
Even
See,
without
you
even
got the
trying.
pun bug.
My fiance likes to joke that the most anti-Semitic thing about me is that I don't really like pickles.
Oh, I didn't know that
lock
would be
him up.
considered.
I think
Okay.
I think it's just
It's kind
Not
of
even a Clausen's.
You're not.
that's specifically the kind of pickle. I'm like a dill pickle straight out of the jar. Some people love it as a snack. You know, you can go into
Yeah.
7 and just buy pickle. That is not for me.
Really
A pickled element in a
Seems like
composed
odd.
dish? Sure.
Okay, because you grew up in Vegas, Nevada.
Known famous for our
What is
pickles.
that?
No,
What
I
does
was-
that mean?
I-
Yeah, yeah.
Don't worry, I was getting there. You know, there's some hood elements there, and one of the best hood classics is dipping a pickle in the Kool-Aid.
Yep.
and eating
Okay.
it.
Yeah. Sure. Yeah.
And you
yeah.
grew up around that. You didn't enjoy that.
No, not for me. It's not my flavor palette.
Yeah.
Sour doesn't really.
So you're like sour is like not
Sour,
a
no.
like.
To me, I'm like sour has its place. Do you know what I
Okay.
mean?
Yeah.
Like sour to balance salt or something, great.
Yeah.
But just sour for sour's sake, I'm not popping warheads. You know.
Oh, I was a warhead guy.
Whoa, this.
I used to be in class like, yo, watch this, and you pop a warhead, and he's like, the teacher,
He's
teacher ain't
shaking
gonna know.
for those audio
The
listeners.
teacher ain't gonna know. I got a warhead in me.
That is great. Yeah, that I guess that does prove something. You know, you're really like able to take in a word. So that's good.
Proves his manliness.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah,
I will.
exactly.
Yeah. I don't know. You know, could be anything.
It's his version of a bar mitzvah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
But what about like kimchi or like a?
That's what I mean. Like a pickled element,
Yeah,
sure.
well,
Like
that's
kimchi is
fine.
great.
Like
yeah.
pickled
But like
radish
the
and
cucumber
Yeah.
itself.
But pickle, like,
Right.
Like
a
what we
dill
popularly think of as a
pickle.
pickle. Like you order a sandwich as a pickle on the side. And if I'm at lunch with anyone else in that situation, they're like, "Are you gonna eat your pickle?" The answer is no. You can have it.
Oh,
who
yeah.
decided that, by the way? Because
When are you supposed to eat that?
well, my thing is like, we don't call it pickled cucumber. We just call it a pickle,
Yeah.
and everything
Right.
else is like pickled blank.
Right.
Why
Yeah.
did cucumber get the crown?
That's
'Cause-
like.
Wow,
I
you had
it.
us on edge.
I had
yeah. We were waiting.
I was trying to think of something. I think like curry, maybe.
Mm-hmm.
It's like curry is a spice. So if you're just like, can I have curry?
Oh,
it's
I see
like,
what you
it's an
mean.
element of it. It's not.
Yeah.
It's not that particular.
You're taking the argument of like
thing.
some people call all toothpaste Colgate, right?
Yeah. That's more like Kleenex.
Yeah, exactly.
But
yeah.
I'm thinking like, if you go into an Indian restaurant, you're like, can I have curry? They're like, that doesn't mean anything. Like everything
Sure.
has curry here. So
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
what do you want?
Yeah, what
You
type
know?
of curry?
Yeah.
So it's
versus,
like to
I
lay
want
people.
pickle.
Yeah, okay,
And
yeah.
it's
I know
like,
what you mean.
the pickled cucumbers. So you
Also,
specific.
quit being a pedantic asshole. Give me the
Shut the
pickles. You know what I
fuck up.
mean.
Yeah.
Popularly,
But,
you know what I mean when I say I want a pickle.
Sure, hopefully. But hey, who knows? But I do think, I agree though. I think it's best and when I was a kid, I hated pickles. I feel like it's too intense, right?
Sure.
But then now it's like, oh yeah, in a sandwich I'll take it, and then I will eat the one on the side. But then
Yeah.
somebody was like, you only eat that after. One time I ate it first, and they were like, "You're only supposed to eat that after."
That's crazy.
And I was
If
like, "Oh,
anything, you
God."
bite it in between. You go bite for bite, sandwich,
Yeah,
pickle,
right.
sandwich,
I think
pickle.
I was doing that, and they were like, "That's wrong." And
That
I'm
person's
I was like,
psychotic.
"Oh my God, I'm so scared." Okay, this is why I don't eat with anybody more. No, I'm kidding. Okay, so Tristan and Bailey are team captains because of their immunity and their winning last episode. So they kind of pick alternating picks like high school.
Schoolyard style, yeah.
Very
Yeah,
dramatic.
you got to pick for your pickles. A lot of puns.
Whoa.
Also, I did look it up. It is just because it's like a primarily American thing, and it's just because it was the most common pickled item was cucumbers. So
Primarily American, meaning if you go to like Canada and you're like, "Can I get a pickle?" They're like, "What does that mean?"
yeah, but I think we've won in
Sure.
the branding. So I think
yeah.
most people. But someone was like, "Oh, if you went into a." Which I'm like, are you sure? They were like, if you go into a Arabic store and ask for, an Indian grocery, you'll see all sorts of non-cucumber items sold as pickles.
Well, but that's true of Whole Foods too.
Yeah.
It's more culturally.
If the Indian grocery store is in America, I also think the dude behind the counter is going to be like, "Yeah, pickles, sure." I know
Yeah,
that."
yeah.
Right. But if you're in India, sure.
Yeah.
Then it might be. Then you
Yeah.
got to also maybe, yeah. I don't know. Maybe speak another language. No, I guess they speak English there. Okay, you're good.
I'm just thinking about
Yeah.
the kid who's listening to this episode getting quizzed on pickles, and he's like, fuck yeah.
I know all the pickles.
Yeah, I got the pickle facts.
Pickles. Okay, so green team, Tristan, Katiana, Shuai, Cesar, Henry. Purple team, Bailey, Lana, Paula, Vinny, Massimo. The drama, first drama was Massimo getting picked last, and then he also rolled his eyes before he got picked when Paula got picked. Or they cut him?
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Lots of good cuts this episode. He was not happy about it. He was like, this is the first time I've been picked for everything.
This is your Massimo?
Yeah, because why does he look like a Jersey Shore guy? like he's like truly like, I'm like, is this why am I forgetting the place that he's from?
Canada?
No, specifically in Canada.
Quebec?
He
from-
always
Oh.
talks
Remember,
about
Montreal?
Montreal.
Oh, he's from
I was like,
Montreal.
is it a Montreal thing that like they also have Guidos out there? Because it's like he was like, you are like so like this is the episode of really kind of and I'm gonna just jump ahead when he fucking almost blows up the kitchen.
Oh my
Yeah.
God.
And he's like, yeah, chef. I'm like,
Yeah,
why
yeah.
did you?
Yeah,
It's you.
Yeah.
You almost blew up the kitchen.
Yeah, do the thing.
Yeah.
Where you put out the fire.
Also,
now.
the way Vinny says it's like, can someone get on top of that? Like it was.
Like it's not an emergency,
Yeah.
but
Yeah,
someone
but it's,
needs to handle it.
slowly blowing up.
I did forget to mention this. I do want to bring up that Massimo during the Chipotle challenge. I think it was during the Chipotle challenge. Said something like, "Well, everyone who works in my restaurant is Latino," and I was like, maybe the standard is different in Canada, but here in America, that's an insane sentence.
Yeah.
Here's what makes my restaurant different:
Right.
is all of my employees are Latino.
I just assumed it must be unique there. I feel like it's more of a
I have to assume.
you know,
yeah,
must
yeah,
be.
That
Just
absolutely nuts. Absolutely, I was
Geographically,
like, okay,
okay.
and
yeah.
I went to Nigeria, and in the back of a Chinese restaurant
Still
in
had a bunch
Nigeria,
of
still had a
Mexican
bunch of I was like,
Oh,
shout
okay.
out, bro, shout out, y'all out here speaking Igbo, fuck yeah, bro.
Hell yeah. Okay.
That's why like Trump is dumb. One of the many reasons. Like you saying they're not a hardworking
Yeah,
people. They
yeah.
are in fucking
Yeah,
Nigeria.
they've prepared every meal
Fuck,
you've ever
working-
had in your entire
Yeah,
Across
life.
the
work
world.
in Nigeria working on Chinese food. No, I did not eat there because why the fuck are you making Chinese food in Nigeria?
delicious.
Yeah.
Because it's delicious. Okay.
I mean, yeah, Chinese food is delicious.
Oh,
Sure.
well,
But
I mean,
I also
I didn't
If
travel
you-
to
I mean-
Nigeria.
Nigeria-
to eat, yeah.
sure,
yeah.
sure. Right. Yes.
That's for locals. That's for
Yes.
expats from China who are like, I had to move to Nigeria.
Gotta try one.
Yeah.
I missed the food. Yeah, fair.
And also, it breaks
Or
my
Asian
like.
tourists.
That's my like rule for any like cultural restaurant is like who's the customer there.
Yeah.
Like when I go
yeah.
to San Francisco, if I want to find like where I'm eating, it's where all the Chinese grandmas,
Yeah.
all the Korean grandmas, like where they eating, I'm eating.
Yeah.
If I see a bunch of yuppies, nah, this shit is trash.
Yeah,
Y'all
yeah.
tongue don't work. Your tongue do
Good
not work. It's
indicator,
not
yeah.
spicy. It don't know where are the grandmas at. I eat with the grandmas.
Yeah.
Sure,
Yeah.
And they tell me how strong and handsome I am.
Oh, it's an extra bonus of eating with
Yeah.
the grandmas. And Massimo also.
Yeah.
FaceTime his ex-wife and his 2 kids. Cute.
His 2 kids look exactly like him. It was adorable.
Cute.
I
Like,
missed
those are
that.
definitely
I
Massimo's
missed
kids.
the ex in that. That was his ex-wife.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
he did say that they've been separated for a year and a half or something.
After 16 years of marriage.
Yeah, so recent, I guess,
Yeah.
for in the scope of things. And then, but he did say, I really, really miss them about his kids. So he gets
Okay.
like, point.
Okay.
Yeah, I
Here we
remember
go.
that.
That's good. That's good.
But also, he met his ex-wife too. I missed them.
Right. I don't
Like,
know.
I
she
want
included in
I want
that?
like a parrot trap type situation.
She was
It
like
seemed like they're
supportive of him. I think
Yeah.
they're like
Good
good
terms.
co-parents.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah. You have as a good co-parent. I get it.
Sure.
What I mean is, I want to see some rekindle. I need more romance in this season.
Oh, sure.
You want to pivot this from a reality competition show into a rom-com.
Yes.
Got it.
He's going to win her back.
Yeah. I need Masa more love in my
Wow.
life.
Massimo was already. Isn't that already Italian for like maximum?
Maximum.
Yeah.
Maximum.
love.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mossum
Hero maximum
more.
fun.
We'll be right back.
Wow. Yeah. That was so good. I stopped. Okay, so something boils over. We did talk about the
He built a bomb.
The bomb.
Yeah.
He didn't strain his potatoes and boil them in oil, and then it was just like a lot. And he's always doing something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like they kind of just need to keep him around for the entertainment value.
Yeah, I feel like we would be friends. I think I give him a lot of, shit.
He
sometimes
seems like a
now.
real riot.
He's
Yeah, I
always
think.
got
Yeah.
something funny to say.
I'd get a beer with him.
Yeah.
Guest judge joining was Claire Reichenbach. She's the CEO of the James Beard Foundation. Also joining them was Danielle Corono, which I think this was his restaurant they were eating at.
Oh, sure.
So basically for this challenge, like they serve the dish, they vote right then and there. That was very fun. I felt like that was a
Yeah.
good
In what felt like a very tedious counting of votes. They've done this style challenge before where they're like, we're going to vote immediately, but usually it's like, raise this paddle, this paddle.
Yeah.
Yeah, that
And this time
seems
they were
better.
like, fill out a ballot, pass it down, Kristen has to count it. I was like, I know they're editing this quickly, but in the
Yeah.
moment, that had to have been like 2-3 minutes.
Oh, I was like, for me, this would be a nightmare.
Yeah.
I'd be like, actually, I could just walk into traffic. Like, if that would
yeah,
make you
waiting
feel better.
line.
Yeah.
They had to turn around, or some of them turned around.
Yeah.
Because remember, they didn't. So when they turned around, I was like, oh, I think that was a smart choice. They're like, nah, we're going to turn around.
Yeah,
We're
yeah,
not
yeah.
going to
I
sit
can't
here
watch this.
and watch
yes,
you.
Yes, they
Watch
probably.
Gail just...
That's your impression. Okay, I wish the audio listeners could see your impression of Gail scribbling.
Oh, yeah.
There's
kind
a
of
lot of
like-
head movement.
Yeah.
Lateral
it's-
head movement.
It's an essence of
Yeah,
Gail
Yeah.
throughout.
Oh, speaking of which, we feel like Massimo was out there flirting with Gail.
Absolutely, 100%.
Wait, what?
Massimo,
I missed it.
absolutely.
With flirting with Gail, he's like, I'm willing to embarrass myself in
Yeah,
front
yeah.
of you. Making direct eye contact with this woman.
And then at judges table being like, I made that for you because you said that was your favorite restaurant. And so I made it as like an homage, and I really hope you liked it.
yeah,
Oh
and she
my
was like,
God.
yeah, I picked up on that. I picked up
like,
on that.
got it, thank you.
Relax.
Right.
Saving myself for Iffy Waddy Way from the Top Chef Fantasy
Right.
League podcast.
Right after he announced his separation.
All right,
This
yeah,
time-
yeah.
I
By the
am
way,
no
I'm
longer
single.
with my wife,
I'm single.
but I love my kids
Look,
and I miss my kids.
I'm a good dad.
I get it. Sorry, but my heart is taken by other people in the competition.
True. So Massimo,
He's talking about Vinny.
Yeah.
Sure.
Vinny, ooh. When I
Vinny.
get you on this pod, my boy.
I am excited. Vinny and Massimo turned out to be, because I feel like when we drafted them, they had these like pedigrees and was
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
oh, they're going to be kind of straight laced and whatever. No,
Yeah.
they're both
Goofballs.
wackadoodle
Yeah.
boys.
I truly enjoy watching them. They crack me up.
And so then we had, let's see, I'll kind of go through this. Oh yeah, so they do like a head-to-head thing, right? So it's Shuai and Massimo first with their like cornichons dish, which again I didn't realize how many different kinds of pickles there were too from all this. So
I didn't either. Once they started listening, I was like, oh, yeah, of course. But it's just not what you think of. Again, I have
Right.
that bias of when I think of a pickle. I think of like a Vlasic pickle.
yeah, in the jar,
Yeah.
eating it. Okay, so fried pickle. Oh yeah, this is Shuai did the fried pickled mushroom, steak tartare Dijonnaise. And then Massimo did his fried pickled cannolo with l'Express steak tartare. And he did not put the potatoes on the plate, which was smart because they probably were a bomb.
They were a bomb.
Yeah, they blew up.
This was the first of, I think, like 3 courses in a row where I was like, oh, they made the same thing. Like,
Yeah.
when they were both in the
Sure,
kitchen, like, here's what I'm going to
tartare.
make. I was like, they're both making tartars.
Yeah.
Which makes sense for the cornichons, but I was like, come on, you guys.
Yeah. But I mean, that cannolo looked so.
Looks great.
good.
Yeah, it was very
I was
dainty.
just imagine putting it in my mouth. Like it's just like sensory too. Like I like a crunchy exterior
Light.
with the tartare. Like anytime something's like they do something where they put the tartare inside, so
Yeah.
you bite into it and it's that softness.
Well, and Schwei did the same thing. He put it on like a crispy mushroom that was like pickly, and I was like,
Yeah.
that sounds good too.
Yeah. Something about the like cannolo though, like making it like a little
Yes.
cigar. I feel
Isn't
like.
it the little like pickle dust on top?
Yeah,
Oh,
that did look good. And I feel like
Oh.
have you got those like cigar cookies? Like it's like that.
yeah.
Like,
So you
crunchy,
bite into it
hollow.
and you're like pretending like you're smoking too.
Cannolo. Yeah, I'm smoking. I'm
Ooh,
cool.
I'm bad.
And Massimo did win 6-2. So next one was Tristan versus Vinny. Tristan did a charred mackerel with pickle variations.
right.
So there was like a bunch of cool pickle things on that, burnt pickles. Yeah.
Yeah, and also we have to mention how many times Vinny was like, I'm afraid to go against Tristan because when he doesn't like food, it's really
Right,
good. He was like, if he
right.
doesn't like it. And I was thinking about it, I was like, damn, that's so true because it's like, if you don't like something and then you're like, well, I'm going to make it good enough that I like it.
Right. That
I was
means
like,
it's gotta be
yeah,
really
yeah,
fucking
yeah.
good.
And God, he's just like he is like, truly, like I need to know more about Tristan because he seems like so nerdy in all the ways that like is making him excel.
Yeah, I remember back in the trivia episode, we pointed out that like everyone was talking about how Tristan's like an encyclopedia. He knows
Yeah.
everything. He can just rattle off facts about whatever.
Yeah.
And sure enough, he had some bizarre facts that he just kind of pulled out when they're going shopping or whatever.
Yeah,
it was always
yeah,
very
yeah.
out of out of
And I mean,
the
that's
blue.
what won him the Chipotle challenge. Who else is
Yeah.
making an obeata? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Sure, that's great for being creative. And then so Vinny's was like this pickled brine smoked salmon rillette with variations of pickles, pickling spiced gnocco frito. But anyway, I mean,
so again, they both made like a cured fish. And I was
sure,
like, same dish.
that's true. Fish in there, yeah.
Yeah.
But then
Get Mike to the judges' table. He's ready.
I'll see right
This
through
is-
these motherfuckers.
People
Yeah.
didn't really comment on that as much, and I feel like that is true. And Tristan did win in a full sweep.
Yeah.
Full sweep.
But the other thing that was funny is like Danny basically was like saying this is Vinny's was Noma recipe to a T.
Right.
He was saying or Nomad recipe.
Nomad
Sorry.
recipe, yeah.
So it was kind of the same thing, the same problem with Vinny last week, which was like you're just kind of redoing these same
We
dishes.
get it. You worked
Yes.
the Nomad.
Yeah.
Drop it.
Yeah, so that was pretty funny. And I was surprised Vinny didn't do some sort of brown nosing thing for
Well,
it.
he was beating himself up. He was like, I got clean sweep because it sucked. I was
Oh,
like,
yeah.
relax, dude.
Yeah.
Relax.
It's
Yeah,
Nomad
I
food.
can't
It's pretty
imagine.
good. It's
Yeah,
just not
Yeah.
original.
Tristan
Also, you're
is
up
just-
against the big
yes.
nerd who's
Yeah,
really
yeah.
good at this. Like,
Yeah.
it's not like you went against, someone who, like, you expected, like, you already were like, I don't know how this is going to go.
Right.
And Tom literally said that was one of the best things he'd ever had.
Which
the
is
show.
Which is
crazy
Wild.
praise.
Yeah, on the show. And so that is why it was a full sweep, not necessarily because Vinny's
Yeah.
was sucked, but of course a self-effacing chef.
Mm-hmm.
Katiana was next versus Alana. So they both were in the sort of I guess dill cucumber-y thing. So
Right.
Katiana did a roasted dilly cucumbers, dill pickle, and clam vinaigrette, potatoes poached in pickle brine, and a cucumber seed porridge, which she added some tofu to, which ended
That
up
was
being
the
her
fatal-
demise.
Yeah.
I mean, speaking of her security blanket, she kind of kept saying was like having tofu around, which
Yeah.
is kind of funny.
Yeah.
So anyway, that was tough. It was a little too cucumber forward, and then the texture was bad. Yeah, I don't know. It did look a little like it's tough because you'd think she would make a great pickled dish.
Well-
She always incorporates that.
Kind of, something she says later, but I'm just bringing it up now, is that she was like, I liked it. It seems like they didn't like it. So it makes me
Right.
curious about the taste because I'm, yeah.
There was
didn't.
also a little bit of an element of like, she was like, it wasn't broken. I just didn't want to say anything. And I was like,
yeah, that's like that's what I was talking about, where
Yeah,
she's
yeah.
kind of like, no, the shit was good. Y'all just didn't like it.
Yeah.
And like
Right.
that was kind of her attitude. And I was like, I fuck with that. I'm like, oh, well.
I'm like, I don't think it would have changed the outcome, but I do wish she would have just said like, I wanted it to taste like that. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Instead of being like, no, I know, like.
Oh,
hey.
I see what you mean. Where
She
it's like
didn't-
just stand on business. Where it's like,
Yeah,
oh,
yeah.
it just must not be for you.
Exactly.
Versus like, no, it was giving what I wanted it to.
Right.
Which I think you're right? Because I think that's the difference in thinking that she missed the mark versus being like, oh, we're just on opposite sides. And I think
Which
you're
is
right.
fine. Yeah. Because then you can own it and be like, I cooked food that simply wasn't to your palate, and that's
Yeah.
okay.
Mm-hmm.
They were so unanimously did not like it though
Yeah.
that I think that would concern them to be like, oh, and she thinks it's good. So gosh, her palate's really different.
Every
you know?
time I stand on this, the only one who can I think go against this now I think would probably be Danny and Kristen. Is I'm like, every time they're like, no, I'm like, yeah, y'all are just white. Like that is always my default. It's like, yeah, y'all are like, to me, like we've had that on the last season where they're like, I don't know how they can think this, like, because y'all are white. Y'all ain't tasting different tastes.
Yeah.
Unless you're like one of the spicy whites that are like in Eastern Europe or something.
Right. Yeah, so we'll see. I mean, I think, that was interesting because she did seem like there was a little bit of, like, I deserve to. Okay, well, we'll talk about that.
We'll get there, yeah.
But Lana's a big pickle head herself. She said she needed a new fridge for pickles or a freezer. So anyway, she made a dill pickle seared scallop and grilled pickle relish, dill pickle beurre blanc, and she was the winner 7-1. They just really liked it. Simple but packed flavor. So
this was another when they were describing their dishes. One was like, I'm gonna use clams. The other one was like, I'm gonna use scallops. And I was like, we're right there.
Yeah. I guess that's the progression.
Mike's like, here we go again. Y'all keep picking the same.
But she, I feel like she hasn't really had much of a win recently. So I feel
Lana's been
good.
firmly middle so far, so it's nice to see her win. Yeah.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, Lana has been riding, but I like that because we've talked about this before where you can get, far.
Totally valid gameplay strategy.
Yeah, and as long as you turn it up when you need to, you can come on top.
Yeah.
Cesar, however, has been blossoming.
Yes.
Well, hold on,
Amazing,
not to step on the
Truly.
foot. Yeah.
Oh, yes, yeah. Okay, well, before we get into that, Henry and, the whole...
Oh, no,
I know,
no,
we
no,
literally
no.
walked into the... When we arrived here, we started talking about this off air.
Yeah.
We could not keep ourselves from discussing this. So Shawai, he's like, I got to clean up all this Katiana shit, and then throws out Henry's mise en place, which was all his pickle garnishes that he had
all the
day
pickle
before.
parts of the pickle dish.
Yeah, and Henry was just like, I have 10 minutes left. I got to pivot. Like,
My whole thing is like, why were you even doing that? Like,
Well, he thought he was cleaning up what was garbage from Katiana's.
Yeah, I feel that, but it's like you're not cooking anything yet. You're not like, for me, I'd be like, I'm gonna do as little as possible because I'm not in the kitchen and I want to give anyone space. And I think also it's my ADHD brain where it's like, leave that pile there. That's an important pile of bullshit.
Yeah.
I know it looks like trash. Leave it.
Yeah.
No, I know. It's like I don't know who I would rather be in this situation. Because Shawai was like trying to crawl. He was like, I just want to crawl into a hole. So I felt
know.
really
I felt bad
too.
for Shawai because it was
It's
like an honest mistake.
Yeah.
Yes.
And like you can tell just by, and also they're on the same team, so he gains nothing by fucking him over. But like he seemed devastated.
Correct,
but then Henry seemed so mad.
I
felt
Quiet
it through
mad.
I felt it through the TV where it's like he doesn't want to be mean to Shawai, but I could tell he wants
And I really admire that about Henry is at judges table, he tried his best to not throw Shawai under the bus. They were like, what happened? He's like, my mise en place got lost. And they were like, where to? And he went, to the garbage can. They're like, what? They had to really pull it out of him.
Yeah.
And then Shawai had to be like, it was me. You know what I mean? Like Henry really tried to just be like, I'm not going to throw him under the bus,
That is the noble thing to do. I do feel like that ends up winning you way more points than throwing someone under the bus, even if you totally are in the right to say the truth. But I think,
And I think the reason why, too, is because what they eventually said was they're like, even without the pickled stuff, like the beef wasn't that
cooked,
good.
yeah.
And I feel like, because if he was like, well, this happened, then they were looking at it, was like, well, he's making a big deal of that, but even the meat wasn't cooked,
Yeah, so it was maybe a wise choice.
Yeah.
I do think we came dangerously close to a situation, and this has only happened like once or twice ever in Top Chef history here in America, where like if they would have put Henry on the chopping block, the right thing to do would have been for Shawai to say like, take me instead.
Yeah.
It's my fault.
That's what M was saying too. It's like, you're going to have to take that L for him because you set him up.
And would they allow that?
They've done it before.
Okay,
yeah.
right.
Not a lot.
In his
it's only
stead.
happened like once or twice, but it has
I remember.
happened.
Yeah, and like Henry's already been on the bottom so much. I feel like his morale's really low, and this was like the thing to really tip him over the edge. So I don't know how he'll do in the future, just knowing that he's been through this.
Might be rattled.
He did mention at the end that he cried in the bathroom, so I am giving him half a point.
Okay,
because
sure.
I think he deserves it now. And I think it was clear he was crying. Like I think even though they didn't show him sobbing in the bathroom, but I figured that's
I think the actual word
time.
was I cried in the bathroom like a functional adult.
Right.
Trying to hide. Yeah, so God, it was just so tough. I feel like on top of also not doing so great like in the past, so it's not like this is the first thing to kind of knock him down, And yeah, no more Asian sensation team.
Oh,
They're
that's
completely
dead gone.
over. Yeah, Asian. I don't know. Defenestration.
Oh, I see what you were going
Ooh.
for.
You know,
okay.
something negative. That's
Yeah,
also
yeah.
Asian. but-
Devastation?
Oh,
Nice.
much
There it
better.
is.
Much
Gabe.
better.
Gabe.
Thank you,
Gabe.
God, thank God for Gabe. Okay, so Henry went up against Paola, who did her grilled octopus with spicy pickled chimichurri, braised pickled beets, and serrano peppers. She won 7-1. No surprises there. They didn't really get the pickles from Henry's because
Yeah.
they were in the trash. But Paola, the funny thing to me was Paola was just like oblivious and was like, "Yay!" And she's like,
Yeah, yeah.
"Yay!" And she like went. And it's like, dude, like read the room, read the room, my girl. But yeah, I mean,
Well, she's just
did
having
what
a
she
good
want.
time,
Yeah,
you know?
she's just having
Who are we to yuck
I
her
mean,
yum?
hey,
Yeah.
she's my
Let her
team, I
celebrate
love
her wins.
Yeah.
Purple team, but that was the point to tip it over the edge for
Yeah.
purple team to win.
Yeah.
So purple team is safe, and the final course goes out. It's Cesar versus Bailey. Their final courses. Bailey does a bread and butter ricotta-filled pasta pillows with braised red wine. Yeah, what is a bread and butter pickle? That's
It's the bad one.
oh
It's like like a disc, and
it's
it's
sweet.
sweet.
weird. Okay.
Yeah.
So then Cesar does his dessert, the pickled
Baby.
curd, dill ice cream, fresh
Baby.
pickle.
Now we are
Amazing
talking.
Curd tart, sorry.
Now we're talking.
This is what
gastrite. Yeah.
Top Chef is all about.
Yes,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
exactly.
He
Taking
was
something.
having-
If you would have told me that someone was going to make a bread and butter, as a matter of fact, when he said he was doing it, I was like, oh, well, this is where Cesar goes home.
Yeah.
And this is it. And when he
Nailed
pulled it
it.
out,
Amazing.
I was like, he would have won. Like, he definitely
Yeah.
got the tops. They made it so very clear.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
if
Judge's
you-
table was fucking weird because of that.
Yeah.
They were like, well,
Yeah.
our two favorite things we've ever had in the history of the
We can't
show
even give you an award
are on the
for it.
losing team.
Yeah.
Yeah, it
I
was.
know.
It was sad.
I screamed into a pillow because this is
Yeah.
going to be a win for Cesar. I was
Yeah.
like, because he just had a good quick fire. It would have been close between him and Tristan, but I think Cesar would have won because
Yeah.
they always lean a
So
dessert
different.
dish because they're like, oh, you're not this is
Mm-hmm.
above and beyond. I was like, this is it. Cesar gets it, and then motherfucking Shuai tosses it in. So you just didn't fuck over Henry, buddy.
yeah.
Yeah.
You fucked me over.
Yeah.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
If you're
Iffy
watching this, it's
Henry.
fine. We're good.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah,
yeah.
it's
We're
fine.
friends with everyone.
I do
But
wonder
yes.
if Massimo feels like his win is worth less. You know what I mean? Because it's like winning by default or disqualification.
I mean,
you
I
know?
would feel that way.
Yeah, I
but-
mean, I would if I heard everyone go, two of the best things I've ever eaten on this
Yeah,
show, ever, forever. Oh my God. But we can't pick you, so Massimo.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. yeah.
No, it was like so awkward when they're listing the prizes. But I feel like knowing Massimo, he's probably like, yeah.
Yeah, I don't think he cares.
Yeah, I don't think he
He's
cares.
like, I don't give a fuck. That's what Montreal's all about. You get the wins when you get them. Bada bing, bada boom. Massimo.
Perfect.
It's your boy.
So I think that one of the Max Fun things is you have to do a whole episode in Boston.
Oh,
Actually.
yeah.
That's
Lest we
Massimo
forget.
is coming
Get ready.
through.
Great.
Yeah,
I
we're going
can't
to
wait
make
for
some
that.
clam chowder.
Wow.
We're going to do.
Whatever date we record that, I'm sick. I can't do it.
Mike stays home. Oh my God. Wait.
Massimo's one of my guys. Massimo's one of my guys. He came in there. He took the win. He had a canolo. I know a few canolos in my
canola.
neighborhood.
Canola.
Down by the harbor.
Oh,
Wow.
yeah. North End, maybe?
North End. West Mass.
I can
Put
see.
your hands up.
I can see M cringing
West,
in Massachusetts
It's
over there.
so interesting. It's
West
so
Mass. Put your hands up.
Not, it's just more,
Sturbard Village.
I feel like it's more like you just smiling and talking at the same time. It's not really like anything different. It's just if you've been happy.
Yankee Candle. Go Sox.
Oh yeah.
Is
yeah.
Yankee Candle a northeastern thing?
Yankee Candle. There's one in
New York?
Massachusetts.
There's one in Glendale.
Wait.
No,
what?
like
Oh,
there's
like
a big.
Oh, okay.
Factory.
Like it's like the major one.
Okay,
Oh,
like,
interesting,
it's,
yeah.
sorry. Yeah, like the Yankee. It's like the
The
Yankee HQ.
the Yankee Candle. Okay, all
It's
right.
all the smells.
Got it.
All the smells when you walk in that motherfucker.
Got it. Good to log. Good to write it down.
Going
for
up the Cape.
Bostonian.
See me vacationing at the Cape. Boston. Go Sox.
Nice. Yeah.
Pats.
If anyone in LA is going to do a live read of like The Departed anytime
Ooh,
soon,
yeah.
please put Iffy in it.
Yeah. The
I
town.
rarely advocate for other people to take a job over me, but please put Iffy in a reading of The Town or The Departed.
Yeah. Back to back double feature,
Yeah,
please. Cesar, sorry, I meant
The
to
dessert.
say.
No, we
Cesar's
have to talk about the dessert
okay.
more.
Also, he was such
Yes.
a giddy. He was like so giddy and happy.
I know.
all the
I
time. It
love
was
like
amazing.
I love when the passion comes through
Yeah.
like that. Is so good. It looked so good
Yeah,
too.
yeah.
And I was like, I want to taste this so bad.
Yeah.
This whole challenge, I was like, this isn't for me.
Yeah.
And that was the one dish I was like, I would order that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Out of this world, said Tom.
Yeah.
I want that almost as bad as I want that lobster ice cream. That's like, I think it's in Maine.
Oh, that makes sense.
I feel like you're just trying to weasel your way
Yeah,
back
that's
into doing
close
a northeastern
to
accent.
somewhere else.
Going up to Maine, get that lobster ice cream.
Lobster ice cream.
You're like on the line of Bill Cosby. We're going up to Maine.
Oh, hey, that was good. Oh no, Bill Cosby finding his way back in.
Yeah, you know,
Yeah, we covered
that's
Ghost
our
Dad.
ghost dad right now.
Ghost. I can't even. I've forgotten. I feel like I kind of knew what a Bostonian accent is, and now I've forgotten it completely.
It's
because
exactly what
I've
you just
replaced
heard.
it. I've
Yeah,
replaced
if he's
it
got
with
it.
his
Yeah.
version.
Down in the harbor, getting a car,
It's just like a swollen tongue
go
situation.
socks,
Goose.
get the
That-
fuck out of
Oh,
here,
Fenway Park. Fenway.
park your car,
I'm gonna let him keep going. I'm not
have
gonna
a
stop.
yard.
Okay, yeah. Just trying to think of more buzzwords to throw in there.
You sound like
And as opposed to many other Bostonians, I am an ally to my queers.
Oh, good. That's true. You know, you want to make sure you stay. Yeah,
you sound like
progressive.
Christopher Walken doing a Boston impression. Boston,
Hey, there we go.
Harvard Yard.
Oh,
And if anyone
That's
listening
good.
hates that, remember you support.
You paid
That's
for
true.
it.
Yeah, and thank you.
This is,
and we thank you.
We thank you.
thank you.
a hell of your own making.
Yeah,
Thank
yeah.
you.
You made.
I
your
think
bet.
they just want to have to sit and watch you listen to that for a whole episode.
Sure, and it's more
Top
about
chef fantasy like.
Where? Okay.
what? It keeps getting crazier.
It's
sorry.
like a. It's.
Fanas.
Have you guys watched Tournament of Champions?
Oh,
what-
with
which
with
one?
Guy
Oh.
Fieri.
Yeah.
The
We
chef
don't cover it
thing.
on the
No.
show because it's at the exact same time as Top Chef. But one of their challenges, they have basically like a slot machine that gives like 3 different things, like fried, and then like bananas, and then like a third. You know what I mean? Blender, you know, and I feel like you're doing that with accents, where it's just like bing Australian, bing Boston, bing Southern, and you're like, all right, here's what it sounds like.
Triangulating that accent.
Look, I'm just a Boston
Here he
boy.
goes.
Don't,
And he's
don't,
doing sort of
uh,
like Trump hands. You know what I mean? Like 2 okay
A
signs going
Boston
side to
boy.
side.
Well, talking with his friends on the podcast about
Oh, wow.
Top Chef fantasy.
Straight from Maine to Louisiana.
I don't know what's. This is like you guys are getting more bang for your buck.
Yeah,
getting
truly.
like
Boston.
another half a podcast here.
Go socks.
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 All right. I want to try
Okay.
this pickle dessert. What else?
Okay. Well, that's it, I guess, because
Okay,
then that.
yeah.
So basically, Cesar wins that one, but still, purple team is the winner. So we go to the judges' table knowing that, but they do call out, as we mentioned, Tristan and Cesar right away.
Yeah.
So it's a little awkward, but purple team is at the judges' table. So everybody in the purple team, I'm giving a point. Massimo, Paola, Lana, Bailey, Vinny. And then the winner ends up being Massimo, as we know, 2 points. He gets immunity. He gets a spot at the James Beard Camp for Change. I don't
Which,
remember
if
the
I'm
full
not
name.
mistaken, if I remember correctly, because I remember reading this when we were drafting, I think Lana has already done that program.
Oh, oops. So she's like, good thing I didn't win.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Lol. I guess.
Yeah,
he
she was
gets
like,
to
ain't
do
some
it.
shit.
Yeah.
Ain't some shit I need.
Yeah,
right.
exactly.
Like, have fun, Massimo.
It actually kind of sucks. Say hi to Larry for me.
Oh no. Yeah. Right. Okay. So then, bottom, of course, Henry, Shuai, and Katiana. Henry explains his lost mise en place. I guess a little like Shuai has to fess up, and then in the stew room, like Henry's sort of like, I already cried, so I feel.
I've made
come to
peace with
terms with it.
Yeah.
Shuai just feels sad and quiet. Katiana is sort of expressing that she thinks it was good, but they didn't like it because of the certain texture she added. So, yeah. So then, honestly, at that point, I'm like, I think Katiana has to go home because they're all pretty like united against her dish.
Yeah, they hated that.
And sure enough, she does.
Yeah,
go
like
to lessons.
we got to point out a Tom Raz when he was like, Katiana would have been good if that's the dish they threw out in the garbage.
Oh,
Right.
that was funny.
It's like,
If they
damn,
if they threw out that cucumber porridge,
Yeah,
or whatever,
because it was
porridge.
it was like just the porridge that they hated.
Right,
yeah,
right.
which was
The
funny.
stuff on top was
cucumber
good.
seed porridge.
Yeah.
We didn't even talk about this. At time of recording, it is breaking news a couple days ago that Katiana's restaurant is closing here in LA.
Oh yeah.
Rough week for Katiana.
I mean,
Yeah.
why? Yeah, I'm wondering if she timed it with that to be like not taking away from her run on the show or something.
Oh, interesting. I hadn't even
announcing
thought
it.
about that.
Yeah, because from what so it's just closing completely.
Yeah, okay, here's the information that we know. The Yangban had already closed in December for renovations. And they were like, we'll reopen in spring of 2025. And then a couple days ago, they just posted like a vague sort of just like, thank you for this chapter of the journey kind of post. And then Ida ran an article, and there was like, I don't remember if there was further comment. If there was further comment, it was not illuminative of anything. They were just sort of like, yeah, we're going to try and reopen somewhere else. So we don't know what happened. To me, if I think of any real estate, if you're like, we're going to do renovations, then you have to close. It's like, maybe you ran out of money, or maybe the building like couldn't handle what you wanted to do or whatever. I don't know. I don't know what happened.
Yeah, I was always under the impression that, that was gonna, who knows?
It was like too long closed or something.
Yeah.
Gosh, it's so hard, man. I feel like, and the fact that the restaurants, like if you have a trendy restaurant, it's like you have to hit it when it's hot, and then if you have to shut down for something, then you.
I know, especially when this would be the time people were trying to taste her stuff,
right?
So I am excited for what her next venture is, because I think that's going to be like everyone. Because I also think like having the new opening restaurant is a lot of burn too. So I think the combined burn, everyone's going to have eyes on her and ready to see what she's.
I think
cooking.
of and we haven't talked about this either. Mei Lin, another former Top Chef winner here in LA. She had a restaurant, Nightshade, that like opened in 2019 and was like the talk of the town. Everyone loved it. Closed in the pandemic, couldn't come back. Now it's gone. She just opened her new restaurant, 88 Club in Beverly Hills. Really want to try it.
I didn't know she opened a new one. Okay, exciting. Yes, it's just the timing is tough, but I do think she's represented herself super well.
Yeah.
So if anything, it's the best advertisement for whatever new project
That is true.
venture she wants to do. But anyway, so
speaking of, because I met Katiana that night. Kat had us all at Anachak. I finally hit up Rashida. I was like, all my friends talked about how good your restaurant is. I guess I should come. She's like, come through. And I was like, hell yeah. So if y'all want to do a day where we go, let me know.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm in.
That's a yes from me. Cat versus cat. Last Chance Kitchen.
LA versus LA.
LA versus LA. They live across the street from each other.
Yeah.
What?
Adorable.
Yeah.
Hilarious. Who does that in LA?
They didn't know until Top Chef.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they didn't. Yeah, they didn't. They
Right.
were like, oh, y'all both are from LA. Y'all should talk to each other. And then she's like, oh, really? Where do you live? And she's like, I live here. And then she's like, where do you live? She's like, that's across the street from me. Like, yeah, I don't know how we didn't bump into each other.
Wild.
That's what it is. It takes like you got to go to another country to hang out with your friends who live in the same city.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. The city's so
It's
busy,
hard.
you never get to see your friends.
The funny thing is, Katiana I feel like she said when she was talking about Last Chance Kitchen, she said, I watched this nervous person, meaning Bailey. I watched this nervous person come out a whole different person. I was like, that's kind of funny. Like,
a little backhanded. Yeah,
look, she's like, no, Bailey came
Bailey
out
was a
champion.
No.
Bailey became who I already knew she was when she came out of Last Chance Kitchen. How you doing, Bailey? What's up?
Had to throw it in there.
How you doing? Hope you're doing well. I'll see you. And the rest of them.
Right.
But mostly
it's the equal
Bailey.
opportunity.
No, I'm going to see everyone in Chicago.
Oh, right.
Mostly Bailey.
Okay. The challenge for this Last Chance Kitchen was Corwin. Sorry.
The challenge was
you
Corwin.
Kill and eat Corwin. Whoever eats the most of him
Whoever
wins.
can defeat Corwin in a battle.
Defeat him. Here are your weapons.
Hand-to-hand combat.
Corwin's like, I'm ready.
Corwin can only use a can opener from last week. Anyway, he rolls out jars of like a bunch of pickled ingredients, and they're supposed to put together one cohesive dish featuring at least three pickled items that they choose for each other.
Mm-hmm.
So they're kind of trying to be nice, but they also aren't. And so, so they picked these for each other. I don't know if I wrote down especially, but Kat definitely had asparagus, green beans, and something else, some chilies.
Yeah,
then,
the cherry peppers.
Cherry peppers, right. And then Katiana had those sort of cocktail onions.
The
beets,
peppers.
Yeah,
and the peppers, yes.
Yeah.
So Kat makes a pickled celery root puree, corn relish with broad bean pickle, tempura asparagus pickle. The shrimp, though, that's the problem.
The shrimp, though.
Yeah. Salt boil a little
and
too
she
much.
knew, and she was like, "Oh, maybe if I chop it up, it'll be, this." But yeah, I think it was the thing because Kat had already so much stuff where I was like, "Oh, you can forego the shrimp and still have like a hefty dish."
Yeah.
I think it's just you're moving so fast, so you're in your mind
have
you
to
might
make
have
those
been like,
split-second decisions.
I have the shrimp, so I gotta use it for something.
And I also wonder if it's a thing too where like because she told Tom that she was gonna have shrimp, but I'd be like, yeah, nah, it didn't work.
Didn't make the plate.
It didn't.
You never know, because sometimes they do fault you for not including a thing.
Yeah,
So
well,
I feel
I'd look Tom straight in the eyes, like I ain't putting nothing in your mouth that you don't want there,
Oh, respectable, yeah. I think that'll get him on the show for sure.
I just saw one of your episodes, Iffy.
I like that you're a champion of consent.
Oh, Tom.
Stop the Boston accent. That's all. That's my only
That's
note.
all he asks, and that'll come on. Katiana did a salmon beet marinated with pickled beets, gribiche tartare with onion pickle, pepper pickle, beet greens, dressed in pickle liquid. She really didn't want to shy away from the pickles, and she delivered on that. Packs a punch. Salmon cured beautifully. It was cool to see her pull the salmon out of the beet
pink
thing.
salmon. Yeah, it was adorable.
And Tom is like, it's super close, but there's one flaw, and Kat, and she's like,
she knew.
Fuck.
Yeah, she knew.
It was the shrimp. The shrimp was a little too tough, and now we can have her on the podcast.
Yeah.
It's a win for us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thanks, Tom.
You may have lost Last Chance Kitchen, but you've won our hearts.
Right, yeah. The true champion. And so she basically said, just leave it off, and that makes sense. Katiana wins Last Chance Kitchen. She gets half a point, and we'll see what happens next week. Very exciting. Great. So we can dive right into these points breakdown.
Here we go.
Woo! Okay, so
Here we go. Big comeback for Mike Cabellon. Here we go.
You can find our rules on our Instagram at TV Chef Fantasy League, pinned to the profile. So right away, quick fire favorites. There are 4 of them. So it's Massimo, Cesar, Paola, and Tristan all get half a point. Mm-hmm. The quick fire winner is Tristan. He gets a point. Mm-hmm. Judges table is the purple team. Massimo, Paola, Lana, Bailey, and Vinny all get a point. The winner of the elimination challenge is Massimo on a technicality. He gets 2 points. The Last Chance Kitchen winner is Katiana with a half a point. Henry cries. He gets half a point. Massimo misses his kids. He gets a quarter of a point. So this week, Iffy, you gain 2.5 points.
Okay.
Mike gains
20?
4 and a quarter.
Okay.
Not too far. And I gain 4.5 points.
Oh, God.
And so, Mike, you are at 15.5 points.
Hooray.
Iffy's at 20.5 points.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm at 31.25 points.
You've doubled me. You've fully doubled me.
Yes.
31.25. So you're like 10.
I do, because I do have, I lost, Katiana in theory, but she's still in Last
She'll
Chance
keep going
Kitchen.
in Last Chance
Yeah,
Kitchen.
because
Yeah.
I
But
think...
I have a lot of people still in, so that's giving me a lot of points, even though Massimo was a big winner this time.
Yeah, I think Katiana is going to do really well in Last Chance Kitchen, but this is about to be the hardest run of Last Chance Kitchen.
Yeah.
Like, everyone left are just stunners.
Yeah.
So
yeah, it's been crazy, and she is still like new to it. In theory, she hasn't picked up the momentum yet, so we'll see.
How I feel right now about this league is how I think Henry felt in this episode about his music box being thrown in the trash,
getting knocked down,
just boiling with anger.
Oh no, Henry! But Henry's still in there. That is good.
calm down. Just working it out. So,
get out the bugs now.
Well, really,
so
I'm really trying to
later.
pick a region, because that's really going to help. Like if I'm from Quincy.
Okay.
Or if I want to be from Boston.
Those sound different. You're right. They are regional.
Quincy would be a different accent. Brookline. That's one.
Yeah.
Oh, that's more
Brookline.
Ooh.
A Springfield. Springfield, Massachusetts.
A leprechaun from Springfield. Who'd have thought?
Oh, just in time.
Or the Cape.
Oh, God.
Yeah, a little off the coast. Great. Well, guys, everybody has that to look forward to. So this was just a little taste, a little preview. But any final thoughts?
I don't know how to stop you. I think this is.
I'm begging you to stop. You need to stop the train right now.
It isn't. Yeah,
because like everyone on your team are kind of the front runners. Who has Tristan?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Well, Tristan's been a top
Who has
earner
Massimo?
of the points.
I think I do. Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah,
so
Massimo was a big one today.
Yeah.
And I have Cesar, but
That's amazing.
you have a lot of stunners because you got Gatiano, you got Tristan.
Vinny's lacking, but Paola did get a point this time, and so yes, it's always it's a numbers thing at this point. But to wrap us all out, if you like this podcast, first of all, tell your friends, share the podcast, especially if they're also watching Top Chef, get them into it. Also, please consider going to MaximumFun.org/join, where you can support us for as little as $5 a month, and that's why we get fun episodes like Boston Iffy. It really helps us out. It keeps us going. So we appreciate everyone who supported us so far. If you have any thoughts or suggestions, make sure to drop us a line on Instagram at TV Chef Fantasy League. We do like to check our DMs or comments, anything. Follow us, please. Or you can send us an email at chef@MaximumFun.org, and we'll read it. I didn't check this week, but I'm sure, keep sending us emails. If you're doing your own Top Chef Fantasy League, like LA... What's it
LA
called?
Countdown,
Yeah,
you bastards.
Yeah, wow.
Then, let us know.
Count down your days.
Whoa, that's a called out
Yeah,
here.
bucko. Because the Boston's coming right out of me.
Oh, God.
Yeah.
Boston countdown.
That is the most threatening thing, to be like, we'll sick Boston Iffy on you.
Right.
Stop.
He's a wild card. You don't know what accent's going to come out of him. Please tag us if you are doing your own league, and tell us how you're doing. And for full unedited episodes, you can check us out on YouTube. Thanks again to my co-hosts, Mike Cabalon and Iffy Wadiwe. We'll be back next week. TV Chef Fantasy League is a Maximum Fun production. Our producer is Valerie Moffat. This episode was edited and engineered by Gabe Mara. Our theme song is by Dylan Van Auken. Our artwork is by Sabrina Volante. Follow us on Instagram and YouTube at TV Chef Fantasy League.